Okay, so welcome to this next meditation. So the invitation is to come into a comfortable position, posture. You might like to be in a seated position. You might like to do some of this standing. And equally, you might like to take a sort of reclining position and do a lying down meditation. So checking in with yourself and just having a sense, what does my body need in this moment? What would serve me in my practice? And then finding that comfortable position. And then you might like to close the eyes or hold a soft gaze. Bringing your attention inward. Taking a moment to notice how you are. And without sort of attaching to what you notice, seeing if we can observe our experience to be just as it is. So, for example, if we notice that the mind is busy, seeing if we can just allow it to be busy without maybe having a charge of, oh, I wish I was something different. I wish my mind was more settled. I wish I was feeling much calmer and more peaceful. I wish my body was more relaxed. So just seeing if we can let go of that sense of striving for things to be a certain way, how we might cling to the positive or push away what we deem as negative. So equally, if we have any kind of discomfort in the body, any pain, we can of course make ourselves as comfortable as we can in our posture for the practice. And sometimes discomfort and pain can arise through the practice anyway. Sometimes if we've been in a position for a while. So here we can become aware of how we are. And again, seeing if we can not attach to it with a, oh, look, that's really annoying, that I'm really uncomfortable, and I wish I could change position. But to simply observe it. Discomfort. A sense of frustration. And as I say, doing our best to allow things to be just as they are. So, as I've been just adding in a little bit of guidance there as we move through the practice, you hopefully have settled in, and knowing too that if things arise or we need to make adjustments, is bringing our awareness to it. Maybe offering some tenderness, some kindness, And then if we still need to move, by all means doing so mindfully. So to begin with here, checking in with the parts of the body that are connected to the ground, the chair, the cushion, seeing if we can soften in those parts of the body so that we can have the sense of allowing the weight of the body to sink into that support and to be held. So whether that's in parts of the feet, parts of the legs, parts of the hips and pelvis, maybe the back, maybe even parts of the arms, the head. And then if you're sitting, seeing if we can have the upper body lifting, growing out of the lower body. So that kind of lengthening or extending in the spine, opening up in the front of the body. We can do this through just a subtle sense of lifting the sternum towards the sky, so the breastbone, a subtle lifting towards the sky, just opens up the chest, allows the shoulders to drop back and down. Seeing if we can let the arms hang from those shoulder joints. Resting the arms nice and close to the body, but relaxed and at ease. All right, extend a little in the neck, with the crown of the head reaching towards the sky. And perhaps taking a couple of deeper breaths here. Feeling that expansion and lift as you breathe in. And then on the out breath, seeing if we can soften the muscles, soften the skin. Feeling that lovely expansion on the in-breath. And that releasing of everything on the out-breath. And maintaining that tallness, that height in the upper body. And of course, if you're lying down, you can still have this sense of lengthening in the spine, certainly broadening in the chest, allowing the shoulders to sort of drop back to the floor. And so embodying the sense of being awake and alert, but also relaxed and at ease. And just one last check-in here. Again, if you're seated, just checking in with the upper body that it feels balanced. So we're not leaning too far forward or too far back. This might be a little bit different if we're having some support in the back. You might still sort of check in with that sense of balance, finding what feels comfortable there. So if you're self-supporting, you can always just bring a little bit of movement into the upper body, a little bit backwards, forwards, side to side, or a twist, just to see if you can feel that center point that kind of links the pelvis with the upper body, with the head. So now we've attended to our posture, just taking a moment to rest in that posture. It may be that you rest your attention in the movements of the breath in the body, or maybe the body as a whole. And during this pause, you might get a sense of how the mind is, whether the mind is thinking, maybe it's wandering or within a story, or is it noticing with a relaxed alertness. And however the mind is, again, seeing if we can allow it to be just as it is. So, not striving for the mind to be a certain way. We might notice from time to time a wish for the mind to be calmer, to be more still, to be thinking less. And of course, in a way, we're just sort of adding more thoughts in as we do this. So, but again, we can notice this. We can notice this desire. You can notice this striving, this wanting. And so really anything that comes into our practice is an opportunity to practice. So I'm going to guide you through the body now, and we're just going to have a sense of checking in, noticing, observing sensations in that part of the body. We might also notice feelings or thoughts that might arise as we attend to that part of the body. So again, all part of the experience and part of our practice. So bringing your attention to your head and face. Allowing your attention to scan around the head, around the face. We can see if we can sense and feel at the back of the head. Seeing if we can sense and feel the sides of the head and our ears. We might see if we can sense the space inside our ears. Seeing if we can have a sense of the space or the distance between the ears. And then seeing if we can sense and feel the crown of the head. Seeing if we can have a sense of the space or the distance between the crown of the head and the chin. Seeing if we can sense or feel the volume of the forehead. Bringing our attention to our eyes. As we have a sense of the eyebrows, the eyelids, the eyeballs, the skin and the flesh around the eyes. And having a sense of the space or distance between the eyes. And having a sense of the nose. And then having a sense of the space inside the nostrils. And having a sense of the cheeks. And then becoming aware of the mouth. Having a sense of the volume of your lips. Having a sense of the space inside your mouth. Having a sense of the volume of your tongue. Sensing your teeth and your gums. And then having a sense of the space at the back of your throat. Partially feeling the air as you breathe coming down through the throat. Imagining it coming into the lungs. Inflating the lungs as you breathe in. And having a sense of the space within your lungs. And then including the lungs, becoming aware of the rib cage. These bones that act as a protector to these internal organs. You might have a sense of the heart beating within. You might have a sense of the muscles between the rib bones. As they allow the ribs to expand and contract with each breath. Also becoming aware of the skin. And now having a sense of the neck and the shoulders and the upper chest here. Feeling these parts of the body moving a little with the breath. And then taking a moment to sense the space or distance between each shoulder tip or shoulder joint. Sensing and feeling both arms and hands. Taking a moment to sense and feel each thumb and finger. And at the same time as sensing your fingers and thumbs, seeing if you can sense the space in between the fingers and thumbs. And then bringing your attention to your back. And for a moment taking in the volume of your back. Right from the back of the neck to the points of the shoulders, including the spine, and all the way down to the lower back. And then having a sense of this lower part of the torso, so including the lower back, taking in the sides, the waist, and around the front, the lower belly here. And as you breathe, feeling this whole area inflate with the in-breath. at the front, the sides and the back as you breathe in. And then as you breathe out, it deflates. We might just have a sense of the internal organs inside here being massaged with the breath. Maybe just for a moment having a sense of a space inside the stomach, space inside the intestines. So having a sense of the space inside the body. And then dropping your attention down into the hips, having a sense of your pelvis and those hip joints, the buttock muscles, the strong muscles in the upper legs. And then having a sense of the knees and the lower legs. Then having a sense of the ankles and the feet, the toes, and the spaces between the toes. And then you can either here rest your attention in the movement of the breath in the tummy, feeling that inflation and deflation as you breathe in and out. Or you might like to rest your attention in the body as a whole, with a sense of the space inside the body and the space outside the body. So wherever your attention is, firstly, having a sense of the spaciousness around the body. Having a sense of this body. And having a sense of the space inside the body. And then narrowing down your attention to be aware of the movement of the breath in the tummy. A gentle rising as you breathe in, and the falling as you breathe out. And then together we'll notice the breath for a breath in and a breath out. And we'll bring this practice to a close. So we'll take a moment to shift from the practice, maybe feeling the feet on the ground, feeling your seat in the chair, maybe bringing some gentle movement to the fingers and toes. Taking a moment to stretch and opening your eyes when you feel ready. Lovely. Thank you for your practice.